Hello guys, welcome to the UX course, and we have completed uh, the first module, which is foundation, and now we are going to dive into module 2, uh, where we will learn about user journey, uh, mapping, the personas, and all of that. So let's first go and see what we have completed so far. So we did foundation of UX. The first chapter we did was UI vs UX, which was about what is the difference between UX and UI. As I explained in the chapter itself, that UX is a larger part of the whole process, and UI is is in the middle. UI is part of UX, so UX you can put it in a larger circle, and UI is part of it, and then we have visual elements, visual design, which is also part of UX. So first comes UX, then UI, and then visual design. UX contains architecture, creating documents, user journey, wireframe, estimations, user stories, and architecture, and all of that. And UI contains design components, interaction between each and every element, colors, typography, brand guideline, and all of that. So that is what the difference is between UI and UX. And then we learned about importance in product design, role of UI UX in modern product design, and we learned why it is important to take the decision to do invest in UX before you launch a product, even if you're launching an MVP, because that helps you decide where your product is going to be within, let's say, next 5 years or 6 years down the line, even 6 months down the line. And you will have more success because you will have the right experience when you are designing the application, when you're launching the application. So that's very important to have the right user experience before you launch the application. Then we learned the most important chapter, which is how to design thinking. Design thinking process, as I explained, I have 5 step process for design thinking, which is empathize, define, ideate, prototype, and test. And empathize, we do user research, we understand the user, we understand the client, and we do our user research, wherein we take interviews, and we understand the problem statement, pain points of the user, and then we move on to the next, which is we define. Once we have understood all the problems statement, and we have made a research, and we have created a competitive analysis, then we go and define what kind of solution we are going to build. So solution could be, in terms of a document. As we already understand what kind of application we are making. So we define what kind of solution and how the app will work and all those functionalities. And then we ideate. I would say we create wireframe. Uh, Before wireframe is in prototype. Sorry, we visualize. I do visualization by walking. I basically call it design walks, wherein I walk in nature, and the ideas come into mind. First you have to visualize the ideas before you jump onto any application and start working. So I do visualize first, And once my visualization is ready, my thought process is ready, what I'm going to design, I go into prototype, which is I create the wireframe. This is a different kind of a prototype. This is not interaction, but more of the sketch, the wireframe, the initial step of creating the application. So I prototype and then I test. I take these wireframes to users, to clients, to my team members, and they help me understand if if we are in the right direction or not, and if there are changes, we make those changes and then we show it to client, and we get final approval, which helps us get to the next stage. When then I we did case study walkthrough of Yamaha mobile application, and we saw the competitive analysis between Yamaha and Royal Enfield. We saw the user journey. We saw all the things we discussed within design thinking process. And now let's go and start working on our chapter, which is creating user personas and their specific task analysis.